What is going on, guys? J and C and B here. Yes, we have Bryant joining us for today's show. And it is our NXT Takeover Portland review and recap.
What a show, what a show.
Yeah, great show.
Yes, great show it was. I don't want to go off the rail yet and like spoil anything or say anything right away. I mean, we're going to get into obviously all the details and stuff, but I'm going to say right now, I cannot see anything topping this for the remainder of the year. I'm going to go out and say that right now. I can't see a takeover topping this. I can't see... Hell, I honestly can't even see WrestleMania topping this. That's how, like... In terms of quality...
Maybe another takeover?
In terms of quality...
If they...
Yeah, but even then, they set the bar so high tonight, it's like I just can't imagine anything...
Well, we do have Super Showdown coming up.
Yes, because that's going to be so entertaining.
We got Goldberg and The Fiend.
We got Goldberg and The Fiend. We got Corbin and Roman in a cage.
We got Mansoor going to be in his one match a year where he somehow beats everybody.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Oh, my goodness.
Wasn't he on the Takeover? Or was he on the Takeover pre-show? Mansoor?
Is that what they said?
Yeah, he was on the pre-show.
Oh, I wasn't paying much attention.
He was talking. He was actually one of the...
Okay, that's right. I wasn't paying attention. It's a kickoff show. There wasn't any matches. I didn't care.
Well, it was like half an hour.
I know. Yeah, well, it's just some talking. It's like
It was Charlie, Sam Roberts, and Mansoor, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because when it comes to kickoff shows and stuff, it's like if there's a match, I want to I'll watch it, whatever. But almost had a little booper there. That would be funny.
Sam Roberts is my hero.
Oh, we would have gotten in trouble for copyright at that point.
Sam Roberts is your hero?
Yeah.
Guy gets to do more than 90% of the heels in wrestling.
That's true. He has more heat than any heel in NXT.
I was actually watching that pre-show. Every time he would talk, he would just get booed around.
I know. But it works, I guess.
All right. Let's get to the first match.
So, of course, this is NXT TakeOver Portland. This was a WWE event. I mean, it is NXT, of course, but this was done by WWE. This is the NXT brand, of course. It's with it being TakeOver. This was from the Moda Center in Portland, Oregon. First, we kicked things off with a live musical performance by Poppy. I guess she did one of the theme songs for this TakeOver.
Yeah, she sung it. It was great.
So, then next we'd have... So next we'd have our opening match for the NXT North American Championship. We'd see Keith Lee defend against Dominik Dijakovic. What a match this was.
Great match. That's how you do a match with two big men.
Exactly. I mean,
they are super athletic, too.
They are.
It's crazy.
It's a perfect matchup. And, of course, they had their couple of matchups previously. Then they'd have this is their first pay-per-view matchup. This is the first time doing it on a bigger stage. The other two matches were on NXT on Wednesdays. But a lot of great spots here. There was the Hurricane Rana spot early on. See, for me, I wasn't as into it early on because for me it just started out kind of slow. And I know, you can't expect to be like a fast-paced match when you got these two
big dudes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I knew that going into it, but at first it was just kind of slow and there was that suplex on the apron spot that just didn't really connect.
It looked way too slow and it didn't hurt at all.
Didn't look like it really did any damage. But what got me back into this was, of course, there's plenty of hard strikes in this. There was the corkscrew moonsault from Dijakovic. Then there was the avalanche, feast your eyes. There was the pounce into the turnbuckles. Keith Lee, man, whenever he hits that.
We all know what the spot of the match was.
Oh yeah, we're getting there. There was the chops from Lita Dijakovic. There's it's like a double chop where he did it with both hands, and there was
the shh.
Yeah, then there. Oh yeah, so you could silence the audience, and then there was the one. He did the one up by the barrier, and then he did the one when he was seated in the chair. Then Dijakovic would super kick Lee into the chair. Then there was the springboard senton from Dijakovic to Lee to the outside while seated in that announcer's chair. Oh my God, what a spot!
Yeah, that was amazing, actually.
That was great stuff.
Yeah, for me, this match actually was the tone setter.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so as crazy as the match was. You already knew like how the rest of the night was gonna go, like how crazy.
Oh yeah, this set the bar to start out, which is very interesting because I was thinking in my head like
I thought they'd start off with the tag match.
Yeah, I thought the tag match would be the way to go, but no, these guys tore the house down. Then back in the ring, there was the powerbomb from William. Dijakovic would immediately stand back up. And then there would be the second sit-out powerbomb, and Dijakovic would kick out of that. There was the top rope Spanish fly, where Lee would kick out of that. And then for the finish, Lee would hit the Big Bang Catastrophe and would pick up the win. So Keith Lee would be your winner. 20 minutes, 20 seconds was the recorded time. 4 stars exactly from each of us. So we all were in agreement on that.
Yeah, it was a great match. Again, there were a few spots that didn't work, and I think that's just because of the size of both guys.
And that was more so in the early stages.
Yeah, but it was a great match. I'm glad with Lee retaining. I think Lee's obviously going to have a long reign with this. And I think after this reign, he'll probably be world champion.
Yeah,
NXT.
I'm thinking so. I think this is going to be a huge year for him, and it already is.
Yeah, he'll be the wrestler of the year, actually, I think, in WWE. But yeah, just like I said, great match. They're both so freakishly athletic for their size. It's amazing.
I know.
Where do you think Dominic goes from here?
Probably getting a singles feud with. I'm thinking maybe
like Balor or somebody like that.
Maybe Damian Priest.
Yeah.
Where's he been?
I know. I haven't seen him on there lately. Because he was on quite a bit early on. Like we had that. He had that feud with Pete Dunne, and then he had the. Then you remember he was in the last Takeover, but yeah, I haven't seen him in a bit.
Yeah, neither have I.
That's a good point, but that's just in terms of like a matchup. Like those are once again two like tall, like big guys. So I think that'd be another good matchup for him. But yeah, Balor can work with anybody. So next we'd have the street fight with Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai. During the entrances, during Tegan Nox
I called this, by the way.
Yes, Brian called this, actually.
Like,
Dakota Kai would attack Tegan Nox from behind prior to the match, which I guess that would make sense because like they had the babyface come out first, so I guess that made more sense that would happen.
I'll say this just before we get into this real quick. I thought it was interesting how they did a street fight here because, frankly, I think it's... Because usually when you do a street fight in a feud like this, it's the payoff. And I just thought it's way too soon to have a payoff for this.
At least the second match.
I thought something.
If it's not the end, it's at least the second.
I'm like, something's going to happen here where either someone interferes or something, or it's a cheap ending, even though it's a street fight. Because you're not going to have the payoff be. Basically, I knew Knox was not winning. Because you're not going to have the payoff be this quick after a feud like this started.
Absolutely.
Where you've been building this feud for a year and everything. You're not going to have it end as quick as I thought this would end. So I wasn't shocked by the ending. That doesn't mean I liked it, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah, some things I want to point out. Of course, there was some brutal stuff done in this. The one spot that I think of that I didn't quite understand was the one spot where Tegan Nox had placed the garbage can over Dakota Kai's head, and she did like some running seated senton type thing or whatever into the steps. I didn't get that spot because Nigel even pointed out it's like, why not just run up and just kick it?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I didn't understand that. Like, I don't understand what the point of it was, but...
I guess trying to do a little too much, I'm going to say.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't look good when you do something like that. Yeah.
And it's one thing if they're laying down or something, but I mean, she literally was like running up. She was against the steps, and it's like... And she almost didn't even get any of it, So yeah, I didn't quite get that, but I guess... in the end, Tegan Nox placed Dakota Kai on top of the table with the chair placed around her neck. And right as she was looking to dive off the top, out came Raquel Gonzalez, who took part in the Mae Young Classic, they point out. The crowd would chant, "Who are you?" to her.
It's never good when the crowd has an NXT crowd that's like... NXT is one of the most devoted crowds in wrestling, and they had no idea who this girl is.
Yeah.
But I'll say one thing. She comes out, and I go, okay, this may be interesting. Then they proceed to have one of the worst table spots I've ever seen.
This is one of the worst botches I've seen in quite some time, especially for a finish.
Knox could have got really hurt here.
Yeah, this was really bad. I feel,
she goes
this
to.
is really dangerous.
I think she goes to throw her off the top rope, but misses going through the table, and she, like, the back of her neck hits, like, the end of the table, and the table doesn't even break. It just, like, bounces.
And that was more, and that ended up being like possibly more dangerous than like what they were even trying to do in the first place.
Then the problem was going through the table was supposed to be the end of the match. So it just looked weird when the match ended with the back of her neck hitting the table. And
I guess it still was devastating, and it just looked bad enough to where I guess they could just end it there, but because they probably didn't know what else to do after that.
You could have maybe picked her up and just thrown her through the table.
Either that or Dakota Kai could have just did her move or whatever the case.
Well, no, because she had to sell the leg.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
right.
Kai couldn't get up and do anything.
Great point.
She had to sell the leg.
Great point, actually.
But so you could have had the girl who came in maybe just like choke slam her through the table or something like that, or like. But
and then afterwards, of course, then she'd get the cover and get the win officially. Then afterwards, Gonzalez would and Kai would both lead the ring together.
I honestly, in my opinion, I think they did the right thing with just ending it after that, because playing it safe just in case.
You know what? Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a good point. Yeah,
I just think they.
Again, I think the match was great going up to it.
Oh yeah, no, I thought it was a good match. It was fine, but
and it's okay if we had different opinions, obviously. But
yeah. I had no issues with it. I just think I could have viewed it in a much better way.
They need to build on this with this new girl who came in.
Yeah, it does. It adds another element to the feud, but I just thought had that finish gone right, had it gone a little smoother, I would have rated it a little bit higher. But of course, Dakota Kai was the winner of the match. 13 minutes 24 seconds was the recorded time.
Really, it was that short?
Yeah, it was 13 minutes.
Wow, I thought it was longer than that.
Felt longer to you?
Yeah, a little bit longer. I guess anytime they go around the arena and each other with weapons and stuff.
Yeah, I guess that's true. 3 stars from 3.5 from Joe, 3 from you, 2 3/4 from me.
See, I didn't think it was that bad. It was an average. It was like kind of an above average match to me, a little bit.
Yeah, no, 2 3/4 isn't a bad rating. As I said, I would have given it 3 3.25. Like had that probably gone like smoother at the end, but no, it wasn't a bad. That's still a decent match.
Interesting to see where the feud goes from here too.
Yeah.
Behind my rating, you can just tell. For me, again, it was a great match, and you can just like feel the story a little bit for me, like. You can
yeah, that's true.
You could feel the heat.
The story was great too, because for the whole time they've been feuding, Nox has kind of been like tentative to hurt Dakota and stuff like that. And this one, she obviously tried to kill her at the end. Yeah. So that was cool to see. Not Nox just go all out and try to completely end Dakota Kai's career. Because we haven't seen that from her, where Nox just went full brutal. Like she put the chair on her leg, and then at the end she had her on the table with the chair on her neck. Anytime you put the chair on somebody's neck, you probably know they're not going to hit the spot they're going for.
Yeah, and there was also a spot toward the end where she looked like she was kind of like in shock of like what she was doing.
But then she immediately
was like, "Oh, I'm finishing you."
Yeah,
I'm ending
that was
you.
Cool to see too.
Yeah.
And the NXT crowd makes it.
They're great for every match. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they were great throughout this whole entire show.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we'd have the much anticipated singles match, or in a lot of ways, a dream match between Johnny Gargano and Finn Balor. This one I did not record any notes for, and the reason why is because I'm witnessing 2 of the very best in the business go one-on-one.
Yep.
And I had to just sit there and watch the match. I couldn't stop in between, take notes, anything. I had to just sit there and watch these 2 great wrestlers.
Yeah, that great spot, the drop kick off the table.
Yes.
That was awesome. Just the whole match in general was awesome. This was, in my opinion, probably match of the night. Second. I forgot about the main event. It's second.
Yeah. Tell you what, after I watched it, I didn't think anything could top it.
Yeah, dude, Finn Balor and Johnny Gargano are just so good. And
it's a perfect matchup in terms of like size, and it's like they're really like similar in a lot of ways.
Yeah, they very much are.
So you knew going into it you're going to get a great match. It's really nice to see Finn Balor pick up a big win here, also being back in NXT, because he had the match of Riddle at War Games, but and that was like his first like match back, so that was
he needed this win.
That was fine, but he needed his first big victory back, and
I definitely.
I wouldn't have been shocked the Gargano won, but I guess with how everything's played out, like which we'll get into later, it makes perfect sense that Balor won.
Yeah, you couldn't have Johnny win and then do the thing he did in the main event, because it would have been weird.
I definitely really do dig the 1916 finisher.
Oh, yeah.
I do too. And
It's cool.
yeah, because he hit the coup